Okay, something's going on. We met this gentleman along the riverbank. His name's Alan.
Morning, hello.
And so you're just here to look after our canoes?
Yeah, I'm here to look after your canoes while you go and have a fun day in Speyside.
How do you know Paul?
Paul and I have been kind of bantering for a long time. I've followed Paul through Frontier Bushcraft. I've been doing his tree and plant ID masterclass for the past year. We probably go back about 4 or 5 years through the bushcraft world and community.
So what do you think of the Spey?
I love the Spey. It's a fantastic river. It's we're really lucky to have it here. I'm originally from the south of England in Dorset, and I came up here for this kind of wilderness and these rivers and things. And yeah, I canoe and camp along the Spey whenever I get the opportunity.
What are we doing?
We are going to a distillery. We've just walked up from the river. We have a taxi waiting and it's taking us to Whisky. What more could you want? If they let us in.
Alright, we're in the taxi and I got a guy that lives in Scotland right beside me. He's driving and I try to get in the wrong side of the vehicle, but I've been doing that
sit
the whole
on his
time,
lap.
right?
It wasn't that, you wanted to sit on his lap.
So what were you saying about Canada?
Best country in the world, boy. Nicest place I've ever been.
What do you think of the Spey?
It's quite a nice river, I must admit, yeah. Also, I can't swim, so I can't go canoeing.
I'm not used to this country. I'm used. I thought he was going off to the right lane. I was like, "There's a truck there." Oh God! This is what you do when you're on the Spey. You get a taxi and go to the distillery for a bit of a break while it's raining. I'm very excited. Does this haggis exist?
Oh yes. Yes. It's like an overgrown hedgehog with wings on top of it.
Paul, what distilleries are we driving by?
We've just gone past Ballindalloch, and before that we went past Glenfarclas. We could see Macallan over the way. We've gone past Knocando as well, and several others. So lots and lots.
What was that we just drove by?
The cooperage. It makes all the barrels. Speyside cooperage. They make 2/3 of the whisky barrels for the whisky industry.
That was Walker's shortbread. I've eaten that. Where are we now?
Well, we've been dropped in the wilderness, Kevin. The wilderness of Scotland. It happens to be right next to another distillery though, called Ballindalloch. So we're going to see what we can forage in the locale. In the locale. Yes, the locale. That's the right word, isn't it?
If you ever want to do business with a bushcrafter that likes his whiskey, he's the man.
It's a unique combination, I think.
Yes. Let's give it a try. I don't know this one. Which is why we should try it.
So an awful lot of distilleries that existed in this neck of the woods certainly started out as driven by or founded by an individual or a family. Over a period of time, when they became more successful, then money became an issue. So the second generation of the family were normally working with the first one to ensure the longevity of their project. The third generation quite often were one step removed, and if they didn't have the same drive and motivation that the founding generations had, then it was very easy to accept a quick buck and say, actually, I can make an awful lot of money by selling this off as an entity. And that's how the larger companies began life. They simply became part of a merger and acquisition routine that enabled Shivers Brothers, Diageo, to build that portfolio of distilleries and have a wide range of distilleries, not just in Speyside, but countrywide.
This distillery, basically, again, it's not whiskey yet because it has to be 3 years old or more, right?
That's right.
So you're investing all this time, money into actually making it unique from the family tree.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and so the idea of that is that you're betting on some people out there in the market wanting that as opposed to the other.
Definitely. If you look at the family that's here, the Macpherson Grants are 23rd generation on the estate. it's part of their makeup to look at further generations down the line. So the reason I'm optimistic that we won't end up in the same scenario that others did when you look back to the late 19th, early 20th centuries and a lot of those distilleries got homogenized is because certainly you talk to Mr. Russell, he'll tell you it's a project for the grandchildren. By design, he's not going to see the return on the initial investment. But as generations before Guy and his parents have done, he will do the same to lay the groundworks for the foundation of an estate to be successful and have that longevity. So yes, we're less than 3 years old now. We're not looking to bottle for another 6 years or so. And that's all part of a plan to be successful over the long term, rather than be in, quick, fast buck and out again. You really can't do that in the whiskey business with any degree of success.
Most people my age, I'm 52 going on 53, they want old retirement, they want a pension and things like that. I just want to live long enough to try his whiskey. Simple plan, I think.
So Mike's responsible for running the stills.
Mike, so you've had something hidden in your trousers. What was that?
I keep that for my wife alone, not for yourself, okay?
I'll have to show you what that is. So if someone wanted to distill whiskey out of the distillery, they would have a tube down their pants with a chain. Then that's how they got the whiskey out of the cask. We caught Mike trying to put a large one down his pants. It didn't go well. So that's not a dog.
This is not a dog.
Okay, because that wouldn't fit in the cask.
It would not fit through the bung hole of
Okay.
the cask to extract whiskey. So this is a plumper. A dog is much smaller and much thinner.
So that's not what Mike had in his pants.
No, no. If it was, I wouldn't be holding it in my hand right now.
Okay, how can they win an award if they haven't made their whiskey yet?
I don't know. Maybe because of the way that they're making it. Because they're starting the process, they're making it, they just haven't finished making it yet. It takes a long time.
Yours seems a lot quicker.
I'm just trying to fill you up, Kevin. I think you're a bit...
Oh, really? Oh, that's booze in there?
I think you had enough recently, so you might need to top
I'm
up.
in heaven. I'm in heaven. This is where the angel's share appears. What's the angel's share?
So the angel's share, the industry term for it is maturation losses. So we're using oak casks. We use oak because it's got just the right degree of porosity to allow those casks to breathe. So it's imparting colour, it's imparting flavour, but it's also allowing the higher alcohols and the undesirable characteristics of that liquid to basically evaporate. So we are entitled under Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs law to lose around 2% of the volume of the cask per year. That literally just turns into a vapour that disappears. So as every year goes past, the liquid in that cask gets lower and lower and lower. The strength drops slightly, about 0.5% alcohol by volume per annum, but 2% of the volume of the liquid. So by the time you get to a cask that's 40, 50 years old, there's very little of it left in the bottom.
Really? Where are these angels and how can I date one?
We're just about to have a very special experience. And it's not haggis, it's a privately owned casks of whiskey. This is unique. So there is no point us advertising it because no one else can have it.
Except us.
Except us and the family.
So this was bottled at the end of 2013, but rather happily, this particular one was distilled in 1986. So this is 27-year-old Cragganmore.
Fantastic.
Ladies first, if you've got a free hand.
Oh, thank you.
27 years old. It's from a refill bourbon barrel, and this is 53.1% alcohol by volume. There is water on the table, should you wish. Do bear in mind, even though it's 53% alcohol, it's 27 years old, it's nearly 3 decades old. The maturation process by design is there to refine and soften and improve the characteristics and flavours of the whiskey that you're tasting. So although in terms of its alcoholic strength it is quite high, there's also a subtlety to it that you wouldn't get if you were tasting an 8-year-old that was 53% alcohol.
I came here a coffee drinking cowboy Canadian. I'm here and I'm a haggis frayed individual that has a pinky up and likes tea in the morning.
Your life has improved.
Just so you notice 2 things. First, your camp hat is off, and
I know, I actually have hair. I
Yeah.
think this is the first time I've taken it off for 3 days. But it's so hot in here that I'm afraid it means you have to put up with my camp hair.
but the other is you put a little bit of water in your whiskey.
I did.
Yeah. So is that better for that whiskey? Or?
I think so, yes. I'm just doing what was suggested, really, because if I put it on in my mouth for a while, it's got that slight little burn, whereas with a little bit of water, you can hold it in your mouth for a bit longer and enjoy the flavours and the richness of the beautiful whiskey, and it just goes down more smoothly.
Great. He's bringing another bottle. It's tough.
It's hard.
I know.
This canoeing the Spey has never been harder.
It's living on the river.
You know, I don't know that I could do this every week, but I'll try.
Okay, camp here. What are we having now?
Camp here. We've got a 29-year-old whiskey now, which I think he said was from a sherry cask, so it's going to be a bit richer flavoured. You can see the colour is a bit redder from the sherry, from the cask. And it's going to be good.
So the whiskey that Justine just described, if they could sell it, because you can't sell it because it's a private.
Because it's privately owned.
It's privately
and
owned.
We have chosen not to label it in such a way that we could sell it.
Yeah. So, but if they did sell it, it would be like 300, 400 pounds, not dollars.
No, pounds.
So that's a lot of money.
Don't spill it.
Yeah, that's nice. Put some in your purse. Come on, honey, put some in your purse. He's gone. We're gonna take a bottle. Come on, guys, let's go.
Well, the whiskey business, if you can't have fun in the whiskey business, then you are fundamentally doing it wrong.
Just joking.
Well, that is just exquisite. That is amazing. An absolute privilege to be able to taste something that good that is in private hands. I somehow doubt I'm going to do that again in my lifetime. That is a privilege.
Do you feel embarrassed now about how serious you are normally?
There's almost a tear came out of my eye when he's talking. Because we'll never drink this again either. And I have to go back to Canada and get something at the LCBO.